esta unidad, el vocabulario de la unidad y lo que vamos a hacer como tal de la tarea. Good. Let's have a look.
Jan, Mish,
Miguel,
Dima, Louise.
now Randy.
It's English on tour with the ABCs. Hi, and welcome to English on Tour. We're the pop group, the ABCs, and we'll take you on a trip around the world, singing songs, meeting people, and learning English. Enjoy the trip! Places in my town. In this unit, we'll talk about places in town. Places in my town. Let's sing. Hi. Today I'm going to take you on a tour of my town. Turn left, turn right, go straight ahead, up the street, then back down, past places in my town. Turn left, turn right, go straight ahead, up the street, then back down, past places in my town. There's a post office next to the station. There's a museum, a bank, and a church. There's a hospital, a gym, and a library. These are all the places in my town. Turn left, turn right, go straight ahead, up the street, then back down, past places in my town. Turn left, turn right, go straight ahead, up the street, then back down, past places in my town. There's a park opposite the high school, and between the mall and drugstore there's a cafe. There's a bus station near to the movie theater. These are all the places in my town. Turn left, turn right, go straight ahead, up the street, then back down, past places in my town. Turn left, turn right, go straight ahead, up the street, then back down, past places in my town. Question zone. Fill in the table with the correct word. Let's sing. Missing words. Now listen to the full song again. Do you know which words are missing? Hi. Today I'm going to take you on a tour of my town. Turn left, turn right, go straight ahead, up the street, then back down, past places in my town. Turn left, turn right, go straight ahead, up the street, then back down, past places in my town. There's a post office next to the station. There's a museum, a bank, and a church. There's a hospital, a gym, and a library. These are all the places in my town. Turn left, turn right, go straight ahead, up the street, then back down, past places in my town. Turn left, turn right, go straight ahead, up the street, then back down, past places in my town. There's a park opposite the high school, and between the mall and drugstore there's a cafe. There's a bus station near to the movie theater. These are all the places in my town. Turn left, turn right, go straight ahead, up the street, then back down, past places in my town. Turn left, turn right, go straight ahead. Up the street, then back down, past places in my town. Here are the missing words. How many did you get right?
People, it's simple. The video is too simple, but the idea is to remember that in the exercise that you're going to do, en ese ejercicio que deben hacer y deben entregar, deben hablar de su barrio. Y para hablar del barrio debemos acordarnos también del uso de las direcciones, porque debe decir arriba en la cuadra, abajo, al lado de, enfrente de, cerca de. So we're going to start having a look at one exercise. Vamos a prestar atención a la siguiente imagen y quiero que hagamos un ejercicio de práctica con esta imagen de cómo describirían su barrio. Traten de ser detallados utilizando el there is, el there are, los lugares, las indicaciones. Entonces, vamos a tomarnos 5 minutos para mirar esta imagen, imaginar que este es el barrio de ustedes y me van a decir qué hay allí. Van a tratar de describirlo lo máximo que puedan. ¿Listo? Entonces vamos a tomar nuestros 5 minutos para hacer esta práctica nosotros 4, ¿vale?
You are now muted.
Your writing part. Who wants to speak? La idea es que practiquemos también el speaking. Entonces, ¿quién me regala ese speaking? A ver. So, what is the idea about your neighborhood? Of course not. La idea es to write down your own phrases. La idea es las frases de ustedes propias. A ver, ese me la inventé porque ni siquiera está ahí en la imagen. La idea es que usemos la imagen and according to the picture, you write down your own sentences. So tell me. Look what you made me do. Somebody. Come on, one more minute. Un minuto más para avanzar, chicos. Come on. So, come on, who wants to start, people? Come on, come on. They already finished the exam, by the way. Ya terminaron parciales, por cierto. Todavía están en parciales. La próxima semana es holidays. Salieron de uno, están ahí bloqueados. Very sad. In my neighborhood there is a book shop. There is a book shop. See, there is a book shop. What else? In my neighborhood there is a book shop next to a clothing store. Okay, next to the club shop, clothing store, cualquiera de las dos, very good. There is a park in front of the church. Good. Next to the house is a bakery. My neighborhood is a school. Next to the police station. And beyond to the right, a clothing store. Bien. Muy bien, my dear. It's very good. The idea is to perfectionate this part. Vamos a ver otro video que es el que les va a servir para relacionar lo de las expresiones y cómo se debe trabajar lo de la casa. Entonces acuérdense bien que la entrega de la actividad son 4 cosas como tal. La imagen de sus casas, la imagen de su barrio y las descripciones de ambos. Good. So let's watch this last video. Vamos a mirar este último video, hacemos el último ejercicio y ya dejamos así la sesión.
Hello, I'm Ollie. Welcome to Oxford Online English. In this lesson, you can learn about how to talk about your home in English. Where do you live? What's your home like? What about your neighborhood? Talking about where you live is a common conversation topic in English, so it's good to have some things to say. Okay, part 1, introducing where you live and talking about types of home. Let's start with a simple sentence. I live in a... What could you put there? You could say, I live in a house. I live in an apartment. In Britain, people sometimes say flat. Flat and apartment have the same meaning. Next, let's add a bit more detail. What kind of house or apartment is it? For example, I live in a small two-story house in the suburbs. When we say how many floors a building has, we usually use the word story. So you can say a two-story house, a four-story apartment building, and so on. I live in an apartment on the third floor of a four-story building. There are many different kinds of house and apartment. For example, do you live in a terraced house, a semi-detached house, or a detached house? Terraced houses have other houses on both sides. A semi-detached house has another house just on one side, and a detached house stands by itself. Detached houses are usually larger and more expensive. Terraced houses are usually smaller and cheaper. What kind of houses are more common in your country? What about apartments? Many apartments are in apartment buildings. Easy enough, right? If you live in a very tall apartment building with many floors, you can say you live in a high-rise in American English or a tower block in British English. Sometimes a house is divided into apartments. These are called converted apartments. Apartments come in many different sizes. If an apartment just has one room, which is a bedroom and living room together, it's called a studio. Of course, you can also have bigger apartments, a two-bedroom apartment, a three-bedroom apartment, and so on. Large apartments might be duplex apartments. This means the apartment has more than one floor. What about you? Where do you live? Do you live in a house or an apartment? Can you make a sentence using the vocabulary from this section? For example, I live in a two-story terraced house. I live in an apartment on the 28th floor of a high-rise building. I live in a converted studio apartment. Next, let's see how you can describe the inside of your home in more detail. If you want to describe your home, what can you talk about? Well, you could start by saying what rooms it has. For example, my house has 2 bedrooms, a kitchen, a living room, and a garden. It's always better to add adjectives or details to make your speaking more interesting. Let's try. My house has 2 small bedrooms, a kitchen with a dining table, a living room with big windows, and a small garden. What other rooms might you have in your home? You could have a dining room for people to eat together. Maybe you have an office or a study where you can work. If you live in a warmer country, you might have a balcony or a terrace where you can sit outside in warmer weather. What about your home? What does it have? Does your home have a garden, a balcony, or another outdoor area? Try to make a sentence describing your home. For example, I live in a 2-bedroom apartment. The bedrooms are quite small, but there's a big living room with a dining area, a modern kitchen, and also a small balcony where we can sit outside in the summer. What can you say about your home? Okay, next, saying what you like or dislike. So now you can hopefully describe your home a little bit, but what about your opinion? What do you like about your home, and what would you change if you could? Positive words you could use to describe your home include spacious, meaning large, with lots of room. Cozy, which means comfortable in a warm, welcoming way. Light describes a home which gets lots of natural light. You can say your home is warm or cool, meaning that it's comfortable in winter or in summer. Finally, you can describe your home as convenient, meaning it's close to your job, it's close to the shops, it's close to your children's school, and so on. You can use convenient plus for. For example, it's convenient for the subway, or it's convenient for my office. Could you use any of these words to describe your home? Okay, but what if you don't like your home? Well, here are some words you could use. Cramped means your home is too small, so you don't have enough space. Dark means your home doesn't get enough light, so that even when it's sunny outside, it's still dark inside. Drafty means cold air comes inside through the windows or through the doors in the winter. Stuffy means there's not enough air, so it's very uncomfortable in hot weather. You could say your home is noisy. For example, if you live near a main road, your home might be noisy, even at night. Can you make a sentence about your home using some of these words? For example, my home is light and spacious, but it can get very drafty in the winter. I like my apartment because it's cozy, although it can be noisy because there's a restaurant just downstairs. Okay, so now you can talk about your home and what you think of it. What else can you say on this topic? Well, let's look. Part 4, saying who you live with. Who do you live with? Do you live with your parents, your husband or wife, with your family? Do you live by yourself, or do you live with flatmates? People who you share a rented flat with. Maybe you live with friends. Let's look at examples of what you could say here. I live with my parents. I live in a shared house. I have 4 flatmates. I live by myself. What about you? Okay, well, that was easy. Let's look at one more topic you can talk about. Part 5, talking about your neighborhood. First, be careful with the word neighborhood. A neighborhood is not a person. It's the area near your home. So, where is your home? Is it in the city center, the suburbs, or outside the city? If you live outside the city, do you live on the outskirts of the city, in a village, or in the middle of nowhere? How could you describe your neighborhood? Is it quiet or lively? Trendy or boring? Are there many shops, cafes, bars, restaurants? Are there parks or sports facilities? For example, you could say, I live in a very lively area just south of the city centre. There are many cafes and shops and places to go. Or, I live in a quiet area in the suburbs in the north of the city. It's a nice area and it's quiet, but it's a bit boring. There isn't really anything to do. What about you? Can you say something about your neighborhood? Okay, finally, let's put everything together. If you can use everything we've looked at in this lesson, you should be able to speak very clearly and with lots of details about your home and where you live. For example, I live in a 2-story terraced house. It has 2 bedrooms, a living room, a small kitchen and a garden. It's cozy and convenient for getting to work, but it's a bit cramped, especially when we have guests. I live with my wife and daughter. Our house is near the city centre, in a quiet neighbourhood. There isn't much to do, but there are some small shops and a park where we go if the weather's nice. Here's one more sample answer. I live by myself in a studio apartment. It just has 1 main room with a tiny kitchen. It's very warm in winter, but it can get a bit stuffy in summer. I live in the city centre, very close to everything. It's very lively, with lots of bars and restaurants. It's a good place for young people to live, but not many families choose to live there. What about you? Can you make an answer like this talking about where you live? Try to use as much language from the lesson as you can. Okay, that's the end of the lesson. Thanks very much for watching. You can see more of our free English lessons on our website, oxfordonlineenglish.com. But that's all. Thanks again. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
So people, if you can notice, we have many different ways to express and talk about our home and our places of living. Entonces, de acuerdo a estos ejemplos, es que podemos crear la descripción de nuestras casas, pero aplicando también la estructura del there is y el there are, porque si dieron cuenta en el ejercicio, él hablaba solo con verbo to be, ¿cierto? Y de con quién vivía, en dónde vivía, cómo era su casa, pero no utilizó el there is y el there are. Y la expresión, lo más importante, es el uso del there is y el there are, y el here is, here are. ¿Ok? So let's start having a look. Vamos a tomarnos este tiempo para crear ya los dos textos. Creen los dos textos, escríbanlos allí, los vamos a corregir y listo. Eso es lo que vamos a hacer en esta sesión. Tan pronto todos los 6 me muestren sus documentos, sus textos, los corrijamos y listo ya. Bye bye. Feliz semana de descanso, de reflexión, que estarán cansados de tanta clase y se pueden ir de crucero. So, vamos a hacer el ejercicio, vamos a trabajar en este momento en la tarea para que salgan de eso de una vez. Ya la tercera semana, después de Semana Santa, sí se viene lo más pesadito porque tenemos varias actividades por realizar en la semana 3, que son el macro procedimiento, el quiz y el parcial sería dentro de 3 semanas. Por acá, por la plataforma de Canvas. Les voy a poner en mute y en pausa las grabaciones para que se tomen este tiempo de ir escribiendo sus textos y vamos a corregirlos bien.
You are now muted.